Do you know something in the desert can stare back at you even when it is made of stone? Something that should not move, should not breathe, but somehow does? Year 1998, Nuweiba, South Sinai, Egypt. 3 travelers from Cairo reached the edge of the Sinai Desert just before dusk. The sky was a soft blue fading into orange, and the heat shimmered above the sand like a living curtain. They came to photograph the strange mountain locals whispered about, the one shaped like a dragon's head carved into stone. People said it watched the valley after sunset, and anyone who camped too close heard breathing coming from inside the rock. A quiet wind rolled through the desert as the 3 spread out their gear. Moments later, every sound around them died at once. No insects, no sand movement, no echo. The silence arrived with a weight that felt unnatural, as if the desert itself held its breath. Then the breathing began. It came from the hollow that looked like the dragon's eye. A long, deep exhale pushed warm air toward them. Even though the mountain was far away, the wind moved in a slow rhythm, as if something massive slept inside the stone and shifted in its dreams. One of the travelers, Nadia, walked closer with her flashlight raised. The beam shook in her hand. The sand under her feet trembled, light and steady, as if something underneath was stretching. She froze. Red light flickered deep inside the rock. It pulsed once, faded, then returned stronger. A sound followed it, low and rolling like a heartbeat echoing through stone. The 2 men behind her shouted for her to run, but she stood in place as the outline of the dragon's jaw seemed to widen, just slightly. Just enough for her to see deeper into the dark curve of the cavern. It was not empty. A gigantic shadow shifted, pressing against the inner walls before sinking back. The entire formation groaned like an ancient door trying to open. Sand lifted from the ground in small spirals, swirling around their legs. Nadia finally screamed and stumbled backward, and the 3 of them ran blindly into the desert without stopping until sunrise. When they looked back in daylight, the mountain was silent and still again. Nothing more than carved sandstone. But that was only the surface. The truth came later when a Bedouin elder explained why people feared the place. Long before villages existed, desert tribes spoke of a colossal serpent spirit named Sa-Nar, said to crawl beneath the earth and only rise when disturbed. During a violent sandstorm thousands of years ago, the serpent met a sky creature in a battle that shook the desert. Both fell and the sand swallowed their bodies. Over centuries, wind and heat hardened the remains into stone, leaving the mountain shaped like the serpent's last gasp. The breathing travelers heard was not the wind. It was the trapped air escaping through ancient fissures whenever the desert cooled at night. The red flicker came from pockets of glowing minerals deep inside that reacted to temperature changes. The trembling came from shifting sandstone layers as the underground chambers adjusted under pressure. The mountain was not alive, but it remembered something that once was, and that memory still wakes at night. If this story shook your curiosity, you should head into another Spooky Earth video right now, because the next mystery might just change the way you see the world.